Jimmy said he could handle this. Oh, he's from Los Angeles. Oh.
Welcome to episode 28 of Let's Go Podcast. My name is Justin.
My name is Kelly.
How you guys doing?
We're great, Justin.
Great.
Well, I like answering for the audience.
He likes answering. Kelly is in tune with the audience.
Yeah.
And they're doing great.
I feel like I'm a representative of the audience.
A good representative.
Not only am I a participant in the show, but I'm a member of the audience.
Kelly goes both ways.
Whoa. Whoa.
Whoa.
Whoa.
No accusations. All right, so let's just jump into this. Now, we are going to talk about Captain America Civil War, but
Indeed we are.
let's hold it for the end a little bit. Let's
hold
cover
it.
some.
Let's hold on to it.
Yeah, we'll hold on to it for a little bit. Let it bubble up. Few things to talk about.
Few things.
There's a lot of music that we really want to cover, but so much has come out that we're going to hold off a little bit.
Yeah.
And probably in the next episode, we'll cover it.
With proper evaluations.
Yeah, proper evaluations. We don't want to just give you a review based on like a few listens.
Right.
But we did listen to the brand new single today.
Yes.
Well, Kelly did. I listened to it a few times before.
Yeah, Justin had heard it. First time into my earlobes.
So, Kelly.
Or my ear holes. Because
Yes,
my
ear holes.
earlobes are like down here, right? Anyways, first impressions, it was good. I liked the song, enjoyable. I felt like, not in an offensive way, but it felt like a rehashing of an Alkaline Trio song.
Mm-hmm.
Like the little lead line, the way the song was structured, just the chord progressions, everything kind of felt Alkaline Trio-ish. But then again, if you haven't ever heard Alkaline Trio, there's something wrong with you first and foremost.
Yes.
But secondly, it would probably be a good song. You'd probably be like, oh, this is great. And I was into it. Not to say that, I wasn't into it. It was a good song. And I like the fact, the evolution of Brand New, like every album has like a kind of a different sound to it. So maybe this one's just more straightforward pop. I don't know.
Yeah. I like the song, but I agree. Like the first thing I thought when I heard it was, man, this has an Alkaline Trio vibe, which I didn't even say anything to Kelly. I wanted to hear his thoughts. And it was like, bing, nailed it. Nailed his thoughts.
Just because we're connected.
We're connected. And then, but then I felt like Jesse, what's his name, the singer, he sounded like the dude from She Wants Revenge or
Really?
Interpol. I don't know. His voice felt like that.
I didn't feel like
To
that
me.
at all.
I had the
He
vibe.
doesn't sound like this. So
I'm
I
gonna
would
talk like this
I'm gonna
and
disagree a
sing
little
a
bit.
song. And
Exactly.
I don't know. To me, it had a hint of that, but I did not like it. I like the song. Interesting to see what else they come out with on this record. It's probably going to be their last, is what I heard,
Really?
which is a bummer. But
Well, I mean, if
I
you
don't
think about it, they've been kicking since like
early 2000s,
late 90s.
Really?
I want to say late 90s, early 2000s.
Well,
You know, when like Hawthorne Heights was big. They hit that. What was
Maybe.
the first song they had?
Deja and Tendu.
Yeah, well, that was the first
That-
album, but I
yeah.
can't remember the place that. I don't know.
They're like their second record got them kind of big, but that was like 03.
Yeah,
So yeah, they have been doing this a long time.
long
So,
times.
Maybe they have jobs. I don't know.
They're
Maybe
allowed
doing
to.
stuff.
Maybe they have families. They're allowed to throw in the towel.
I don't know. I'm just curious. Like, what are they doing now?
It's been a good run. Maybe they're doing solo stuff. Who knows?
That's true. Yeah. Anyways, good track. Brand New's a good band. If you've never listened to Brand New, really good. One of the, I think, better bands that have come out of New Jersey. Like I know Taking Back Sunday and stuff like that. I just prefer Brand New to Taking Back Sunday.
Yeah.
Movie Life, stuff like that.
It was funny. We were kind of, as we listened to that song, we were kind of rehashing some of the catalog, and one album in particular, I was like, "Oh, this sounds like Saves the Day."
Oh, there you go.
And then there was another album that was kind of, in my opinion, a little alternative, Nirvana-ish.
Daisy.
Yeah, and then it was kind of, that's what I like about that band. There's just definitely a different evolution and feel to every album. It's not like another album of the same crap.
I don't listen to Daisy that much. Like I don't go back to Daisy. I go back like I still in my car. I have a CD player in my car, and the only CD in there is The Devil and God Are Raging Inside Me. So it's always there in
I know
case
that, 'cause
something.
if I ever ride with you,
It's in there. I just can't help that it's there. That's like one of my favorites. I think it was in my top 10 on the top 10 episode.
that for you, that CD for you is almost like 500 miles or whatever from How I Met Your Mother, the Proclaimer song. Like they had a tape that was like stuck, and so that was the only song that would ever play in his car.
That's what I haven't seen much of that show. I've seen 4 episodes.
Oh man, you're missing out.
Apparently, I don't know. I just can't get into it.
You just
I tried. I watched like 4 of them, and I was like,
well, you got to
okay.
keep trucking.
All right. That's a good transition.
Yeah.
Because we're going to transition a little bit into some television.
Televisions.
Yeah. Do you ever watch this show, The Goldbergs?
The Goldbergs. No, I've heard. I heard it was quite hilarious.
Freaking funny. My wife hates it.
Really?
I don't know why. I love this show. I just wanted to bring that up. I don't think I've talked about it.
I'm gonna have to check it out. And it's on Hulu, I would assume.
Yeah, it's on Hulu. You can watch like.
I'm gonna have to check it out
Hulu.
because you're the second or third person to tell me that show is pretty funny.
You would love it because it's full of like a lot of 80s. It takes place in the 80s.
Oh, okay.
Never specific that, because my first complaint with it when I first started watching it, I was like, that didn't happen in 1984. So they just kind of put anything that happened between 1980 to 1989,
right,
and they just kind of insert it into whatever.
Timeline somehow.
Yeah, they never say, oh, the year is 84 or 85. They just always they open up episode. Oh, it's January 16th, 1980 something. So that way they can put whatever they want into an episode.
Yeah.
Because I was like, wait, Public Enemy? What? How's
They were around in the 80s.
No, I know, but like I was like, not in 1982. Unless if they were like super underground, and like one of the sons is like, I love Public Enemy. I'm like, how? I don't know.
They're not even a band yet.
Yeah, so once you get over that hump of like, that's not when that
12.
happened. Yeah. So once you get over that, then you can kind of like enjoy it. It's more of like an 80s celebration. So I love it so much.
I'm gonna have to check that one out.
It's, for me, I would say it's a let's go.
I've been in a show hole.
It's a let's
As
go,
in,
yeah.
I don't have a show to watch that I've watched a few shows.
Yeah.
Christy's starting to watch, my wife is starting to watch The Flash, and I've perused a couple episodes, and out of the DC shows that I've seen on Hulu, like what's the new one?
Legends of Tomorrow.
Yeah, Legends of Tomorrow and Arrow and stuff. They all seem they have a little bit of element of cheese, whereas this one actually seems like it's really well done.
Yeah.
The effects are really awesome and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think Arrow used to be really good. The last 2 seasons, I think, it's kind of gone down. I still watch it because I'm waiting. I'm just hoping for something good to happen. But right now, I'm like, I don't know, man. I really don't know. Legends has decent effects, but I think it's the cheesiest of them.
Yeah,
But for me, it's in a good way. I kind of laugh.
I don't know why, but watching one of the episodes, I think it was one of the first couple. I don't know why it reminded me of Land of the Lost.
Land of the Lost.
Speaking of 80s like throwbacks,
Yeah.
I don't know why, but there was just something about it. I was like, man, this is like cheese
dinosaurs? It was cheeseball.
Yeah.
It reminds me of Legends of Tomorrow. Reminds me of syndicated TV shows that would be on Saturdays. Like there used to be like a whole like. Remember? Did you ever see that show? It was called Cleopatra 2525 or something like that.
No.
I don't know. It was back in the 90s. It reminds me of something like that.
I feel like it would have been better as like a series of movies, almost Avenger style,
Maybe I just
group of
don't.
superheroes kind of.
Yeah, I don't know how well that would work it needs to be serialized. If it was a one-off movie,
Yeah.
I think people wouldn't care as much because these are like I wouldn't say they're the bottom dwellers of like superheroes, but it's like the most recognizable characters on the show is
the
like
extras.
is the extras is like Hawkman and Hawkgirl, but which I think the girl who plays Hawkgirl sucks. She makes the same face over and over. It looks like either she smelt a fart or she just drank like lemon water all the time. That's the only face she makes. But she's hot.
Oh.
Maybe she's hot girl, not hot girl.
There you go.
Anyways,
Maybe that's why they cast her.
yeah.
Like, we need to cast Hot Girl.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, well, her over there.
Yeah. Well, she started off on Flash.
Oh.
She was on Flash.
Oh, man.
And then she found out. I don't want to ruin anything for
Okay.
you.
Yeah.
But Flash is the better show of the CW DC shows.
Okay.
So good.
I'll have to keep watching.
Yeah, man, because season finale is next week for Flash.
Ooh.
Yeah, season finale for Legends of Tomorrow was actually yesterday. I need to watch it.
All right.
Probably watch it later on today. And in
We'll
Arrow, I'm behind a little bit.
Word.
But anyways, enough.
So you were talking about the Goldberg?
Oh yeah, Goldberg it's such a good show, and like I don't watch a lot of sitcoms. My wife watches more sitcoms than I do. Like she watches The New Girl, which is actually pretty funny. I don't watch it a lot, but
Yeah.
I've been the last few, and that's a funny show.
First couple seasons I enjoyed, so I just
Yeah.
fell off. It's not like I didn't have interest in the show, but I just stopped watching.
Yeah. I think that if I had time, which I I don't. I would go back and watch the other New Girls, but I can move forward. There's nothing that's like, oh, if you don't watch this, you'll be lost. They all hang out. That's about it. And she likes the Mindy Project, which I cannot stand.
Yeah.
That is, for me, don't go. You heard it here. That's probably one of our first don't goes.
All right.
The Mindy Project.
Yeah.
Sucks.
Not
There
into
you
it.
go. It's just annoying to me. Don't like it.
What was there's
Stinks, and I don't like it.
stinks and I don't like. There was a show I started, Aziz Ansari's show on Netflix, Master or something.
Man.
You know,
It's funny.
I don't know what it's called, but yeah, it was good. It was funny.
I haven't finished them all. It's just, with time and stuff. But yeah, they're funny. There's a funny show.
So I enjoyed that one. Not a don't go, but I don't have a ample enough spectrum for a rating. But it was good.
Yeah.
The first couple episodes, I was entertained.
It's a go. How about just give it a go?
All right.
And then.
I need to give it a go.
Yeah, I need to give it a go.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay,
you know what I'm saying?
last night, I discovered that Dawson's Creek is on Hulu, which maybe it's been on for a while. I don't know, but my wife found it and she's like, "Did you ever watch that?" And I was like, "That was my jam." Like, I hung out at the creek all the time.
For reals.
It was good. I told her, I go, "Yeah, Kelly was all about this show too." And she's like, "No way." And I text Kelly right away. And in like the last few weeks, this is the first time Kelly has like texted me back in like within 20 seconds. He was like, "Yeah."
That's dope.
Yeah. So
You're making me seem like a jerk. Like I don't.
no, you're just really busy.
Yeah.
But like Dawson's Creek
baby prep coming.
elicited an excitement from this
Well,
man.
yeah, and I was sitting right in front of my phone, and
Okay.
I had ample time to text back and engage in conversation.
Kelly gets back. He'll get back to you.
But
when you mentioned Dawson's Creek, it gives just an
yeah,
extra.
that was it was on Wednesday nights.
Yeah.
That was I had a tradition of it's going to be awful to say it because I never eat it now. McDonald's hamburgers and French fries and Dawson's Creek. And I would just buy, because I worked at a grocery store. There was a McDonald's in the parking lot. I'd literally buy like a pack of cheese, like American cheese, go get some hamburgers, go chill out and just eat.
Wait, you'd buy cheese separately to put on a McDonald's?
Yeah, because the cheeseburger day was Sunday and the hamburger day was Wednesday. Dawson's Creek was on Wednesday.
Gotcha. Okay.
So that was the plan. And
That's funny.
so that was my Wednesday tradition. But yeah, because remember when McDonald's used to do that? They used to do 29-cent hamburgers on Wednesday and 39-cent cheeseburgers on Sundays.
It sounds like a thing I don't remember.
It was, I mean, back in the late 90s.
Yeah, I just don't frequent. I never frequented.
Yeah.
My jam was Carl's Jr. Not
late 90s, early 2000s. McDonald's used to have 29-cent hamburger Wednesdays and 39-cent cheeseburger Sundays.
Those had to be real hamburgers.
Yeah, not really. They were probably awful for me, but I mean that was just like I could buy a whole mess of cheeseburgers for myself and whoever else was watching with me.
That's so funny.
And just for like $7 or $8 and just chill.
That's great.
Yeah.
So Dawson's Creek though.
Yeah.
So we watched 4 episodes last night.
From
like 9:30 to like almost 1:00 at night. We watched so much Dawson's Creek, and it was funny because Burgundy was like, at first she was like, it's so bad the way they talk, because it was known for the dialogue. The dialogue was so like, people don't, especially high school students, don't talk like this. And then she's like, what? Like she was blown away by like the teacher trying to hook up with Pacey. Anyways, I know this show is like 15 years old or whatever. But
yeah.
Just sometimes we can go retro and talk about this show, but Dawson's Creek for me is a let's go.
That's the realness. I'm
Right?
down.
Like,
I will concur with your rating, dude. I was so far up the creek. I literally bought the lady who wrote the theme song, Paula Cole. I bought her CD that had that song on it, but it actually had some good jams on it. But I was that far up the creek that I was like, man, I'm gonna buy this.
wow, I wasn't that far up the creek. But let me tell you this. It's weird watching the show because they pull a lot of the songs out. You can tell like they pulled like some of the soundtrack, because the part of Dawson's Creek, remember you'd watch it and it'd be like, tonight's episode of Dawson's Creek featured music from Third Eye Blind or whatever, and like all the songs in the show are all like really generic sounding songs. There was a few like, oh, I know that song, but then they're just generic songs. But like the opening song that you're talking about, like I don't want to
Extrapolate? Yeah, yeah.
Not there.
What?
It's like some other random song. It makes it hard to get through the intro. You're like, what is this terrible song?
What in the crap?
Yeah. Remember, have you ever seen The Wonder Years on Netflix?
Huh. I wonder if she had some kind of like
Oh, yeah.
conscientious
I looked it up,
objection
dude. I was
after-
like, what the heck happened? And
Yeah.
basically, Warner Brothers didn't want to pay Sony for the rights to like use it in streaming or something like that.
Huh.
I didn't really pay attention to the
That
article.
sucks.
I just
Paula
read
Cole's
like, the
probably
first.
bummed because that would have been some good chunks of change
Oh,
probably
yeah,
for
dude.
her.
She's probably like not doing anything right now. I don't know. Maybe she is. Maybe
Dude,
she's.
she probably made her chunk off that
Oh, yeah.
song and like
She probably plays bars in Nashville whenever she wants or something. I don't know. But yeah, dude, it's a good show. It's really, really bad, actually.
So bad it's good.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what
yeah,
I'm
of
like.
course.
I'm like, man, this was really bad.
Yeah.
Like, I think I was caught up in the drama. And then so I was thinking, I wonder, like, because I was already out of high school by the time the show came out.
Yeah, for sure.
Like I was thinking, dude, high school kids watch that show and then try to talk like them.
Mm-hmm.
Did they ever emulate it? Because it was like Dawson like goes and runs up to some dude, some like football dude at the dance, and just starts extrapolating like the worst. Like, hey, I want to, interrupt your dance. And anyways, it was so bad. It was funny. We were dying. We were laughing so hard because of how they were talking. Anyways, Dawson's Creek. Check it out.
Check it out.
Yeah. So that's about it with the TV, Kelly.
Yeah.
So let's get into
into Captain America.
Yeah, this is going to be a shorter episode, but we really wanted to talk about Captain America since it came out.
And it is
couple weeks
like
ago.
late morning, so and we were unable to
morning.
locate a good beer to
Yes.
but we will definitely be back next episode with beers for sure.
Friend of the show, Brian Anderson, said you got to get the El Segundo Stone Cold Steve Austin.
What?
Yeah. Stone Cold Steve Austin's I think it's called Broken Neck
His
IPA.
IPA.
Yeah. I forget the name of the actual beer, but it's something Stone Cold Steve Austin,
All right.
something blankety blank IPA.
I'm down
Broken
with it.
Skull Ranch IPA.
Oh, there
That's
we
what
go.
it is. And so,
I'm down to check it out. just
yeah,
'cause
the
it's so
closest
cool.
one is in Fullerton, so we're going to have to track it down. But we will drink that because Stone Cold said so.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so
Moving on.
Moving
Captain
on.
America. Civil
Captain
War.
America Civil War, a.k.a. Avengers Part 3, a.k.a.
Instant rating of gotta go, must go, top of the tier. I'm throwing it out there. Sorry.
Wow. Gotta go. Yeah, I gave it a gotta go as well. It was really, really good. But I ain't afraid to break it down a little bit.
Break it.
Period. Really was looking forward to this movie. This movie and Batman vs. Superman were the two I was like, oh, I'm excited for these two movies.
Right.
Similar concepts, different outcomes. So I would say this is more of it's a Captain America movie, but it feels like an Avengers movie, but it's still his story in the end. It's really revolves about him and his friendship with the Winter Soldier / Bucky, and then, his like decision to stick to his ideals, which is great.
Right.
By the way, going in, if you're not Team Cap, you're just a butthole. Anyone who was like on the side of Iron Man was
Yeah. You're
kind of
crazy.
like, what? Why?
Why? You're out
Yeah.
of your mind.
So overall, I really enjoyed the movie, but I will tell you this. What kind of bugged me was like, so you get the, Secretary Ross who comes in, who's
Right.
back from the Hulk, which was kind of cool to see him again.
Okay.
So did you see the Incredible Hulk?
Yeah.
Remember him? Okay. Remember
Norman.
he was
Yeah,
the
yeah.
dad.
Yeah.
So he's back, which I thought that was cool. But I'm like, it's interesting. He didn't bring up when he created the Abomination and it destroyed half of Harlem. He didn't bring that up
Nope.
when he started pointing fingers. And every incident he brings up, the Avengers pretty much helped. Like Washington D.C. like getting destroyed, that was freaking the government creating helicopters flying above the city to try to control things.
Yeah.
Cap saved that. Everything going on was usually Iron Man's fault. So it was kind of funny that Iron Man jumped on the side of, we need to be controlled. It was more like Iron Man needs to be controlled.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was just thinking about that stuff. These are all Iron Man's problems.
Right.
None of this is Captain America's fault.
Right.
He's a good dude.
Yeah.
So Kelly agrees.
I agree.
Yeah. I just thought a lot about stuff like that.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man was really good.
Awesome.
Yeah, I want to talk about that. That was one of the parts that really made it feel like not a Captain America movie. It felt more like a Marvel or an Avengers movie because
Right.
it just totally ducked out. You could have took Spider-Man out of the movie and it would have been the same movie, I think. And I'm not saying it like, oh, I hate Spider-Man. I loved Spider-Man. I loved Spider-Man in the movie.
Right.
It was one of those things is like, I know Marvel wanted to get him in there. And so there you go.
It's great that they're introducing the new Spider-Man.
Yeah. Oh, I thought the whole thing was great. Like he had to be the best Spider-Man they've ever had on film, I think. Like, I mean, I know he was only in the movie for like 20 minutes or something, but he really was a good representation of who Spider-Man is. Like he wasn't a 30-year-old dude trying to play a high school kid like Tobey. I mean, Tobey Maguire was like 27 when he played Spider-Man first, but he just didn't capture Spider-Man like he should have been. Like he wasn't as wisecracky.
Right.
And,
I know you said the two Spider-Mans they've had.
Yeah.
You thought Tobey Maguire was a better actual Spider-Man?
No, Peter Parker.
Peter Parker.
Yeah.
And then Andrew Garfield was the better Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. If they can combine those.
Yeah. If they could combine. Okay.
Yeah. Because I think the thing with Andrew Garfield, he was a really good Spider-Man. But man, he was so cool as Peter Parker. Like
Right.
he wasn't awkward. He was this kind of
Yeah.
He was
Parker's supposed to
he
be,
was
like,
he was
nerdy
kind of
and awkward.
nerdy, but he wasn't like nerdy.
Like
he was like
socially
hipster
awkward.
nerdy.
Yeah.
And like cool. And you know, I watched some of the scenes from Amazing Spider-Man 2 with my kid the other day because he doesn't care. He's just like Spider-Man, and he just wants to watch Spider-Man.
Right.
And so, like him high fiving the principal, getting like that's not Peter Parker. He was too cool. But
I get it.
but the stuff where he was like fighting in the city was great, like in that movie. But anyways, back to the Civil War.
Right.
He was just really good. The interactions with the other characters, the nonstop talking, like that's totally Spider-Man. So it felt kind of like, ooh, this is really Spider-Man. So now I'm excited to see Spider-Man Homecoming that's going to come out next year.
Yeah. It's cool to see Ant-Man back too.
Ant-Man, yeah. I thought you said Aunt May. I'm like, oh yeah,
No.
Aunt May. Aunt May's getting younger and
Marissa
younger.
Tomei,
She's
of
like the
course.
curious case of Benjamin Button. She gets younger and younger. In each movie, you're like, hey, how you doing, Aunt May? Oh yeah. Yeah, Ant-Man.
Ant-Man, yeah. I enjoyed that. It was Paul Rudd had some real great kind of stole the show lines.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of excited. I've watched a couple of times because Ant-Man's on one of the premium movie channels or whatever.
Uh-huh.
I've watched Ant-Man again a couple times, and I'm excited for the sequel there.
Yeah, that one's gonna be the Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Oh,
That's what it's called. So it's gonna be him and his.
do they have a
waspy
year
friend.
for that? I
think next year. I think
you're more
2018.
in the know of that than I am.
I think 2018,
That's 2 years from now.
2017. I don't know if it's before Infinity War or after it. I would think it's before.
Right. One would think.
Man, I can probably look it up. But
By the way,
right
it was
now.
cool to have him. Yeah, it was just all around great.
When he turned into Giant Man, what'd you think about that?
That was cool. I loved how Spider-Man took him down. He's like, "You guys ever seen Empire Strikes Back?"
that old movie.
That
From
old
the 80s
movie
or whatever.
That was great. Yeah, man. Just this movie was just, it had everything. Had action, had a little bit of feelies, but mostly just awesome action.
Oh yeah.
A lot of humor.
Some of the humor I thought was hilarious. Like I loved when it was like subtle, like when they're in the car when Falcon and Winter Soldier are in the car, and he's like, "Can you move your seat?" He's like, "No." It just stuff like that is funny. And then when Captain America kisses his old girlfriend's aunt or daughter or niece or whatever, they're like, "Yeah." So like that, I like stuff like that because because you have a movie like that has really high like intense parts and you kind of need levity.
Uh-huh.
And Marvel is really good at that, but in this one, I thought they did a really good job at just normal stuff. Like what I like is when like these characters that are like archetypes also have parts that make them human and are normal. Like, okay, they can still be like, "Yeah, do you get the girl?" That type of stuff I like. Yeah, and you don't, it doesn't feel weird. At least it didn't take me out of it. It made me feel like, oh, that's cool.
Right.
Seeing like the Vision where like, Dockers and like whatever sweater vests and whatever. Like
He's kind of a BH in this movie. I didn't care for the Vision.
well that's his
I know that's him. And
he's
that's
this android. He's cold and he's just there to
do what Iron Man tells him.
well, not so much do what Iron Man tells him,
Mr.
do what
Stark.
he feels like is intrinsically right.
Yeah.
Like he thinks, well, we have to sign the Sokovia Accords because if we don't do that, people can die and be hurt. And he also has a huge attraction to Scarlet Witch.
Yeah.
So he's like, "What's up, girl?"
Yeah, but she's like, you're being a butthole.
I know, but I think she sees that the protection is because he has feelings for her, synthetic android robot feelings. But whatever.
You hurt my robot feelings.
You hurt my robot feelings. So the main villain, what's his name, Zemo. I didn't like him. Like, I get why he did what he did, but he wasn't compelling. Which I think that's the biggest problem with Marvel movies is their villains are really, like, they're just not memorable. Except Loki. I think Loki, Red Skull, and I think Robert Redford's character in Winter Soldier. I think he was good, but other than that, like, none of their villains have really like stood out as like great villains. Yeah, because a couple of reasons. I think the best Marvel villains, I think they really don't have rights to, like Magneto and Doctor Doom, like characters like that are really compelling, but they can't really bring them into the universe yet.
Right.
And then Spider-Man villains. Spider-Man has probably the best villains out of all of Marvel, which, maybe they can bring him in now since they have the rights to do that. But just Zemo could be a really cool character, but I think they're really good at making their heroes look good and putting them in costume and stuff, but they're bad guys. They kind of avoid it. Like Zemo has like a pretty ridiculous costume. And I don't know why they're scared to do that. Like, put him in the costume. Like, we got all these good guys in costume. Put Zemo in costume. Like, they put Crossbones in his costume, but then they killed him. Yeah. Which, I don't know why they killed Crossbones off. He can be kind of a cool guy that pops up. I think maybe because he looks too much like the Punisher. I don't know. But did you have any thoughts on Zemo?
I don't really.
No?
I wasn't. Yeah, you're right in saying that. I feel like most of the what I was gathering from what you're saying, most of the villains have been just kind of like disposable throwaway. Like, okay, we get it, you're the bad guy. Then nobody that's compelling or kind of loops you in. Yeah, like
you want Yellow Jacket to come back?
No, I don't really care.
Yeah,
but like that's where I feel like Marvel has gone right in the TV show world or the show world. I feel like the villains, because you get that time to develop them.
Oh yeah, like Kingpin.
So yeah, exactly. Kingpin and Punisher on Daredevil are superb, awesome. Even the Purple Man from or Kilgrave or whatever from Jessica Jones.
You're right. Purple Man, Jessica. Yeah.
But I think I would say the least interesting, that almost made me like Deadpool a little less because that villain was so stupid.
Oh yeah.
I did not care for that. What is it, Francis or whatever his name is?
Yeah, but they even said that like generic European villain. Like they put it out there for you before it even started. Yeah. They're like, this guy's kind of throwaway. It's really
we knew
Deadpool story.
We knew Deadpool. That was going to be the highlight of it. So
yeah. So, but I understood what I did like. At first I was like, man, I think I have to fight like, the video game boss at the end, like the like 8 other like Winter Soldiers. Because I didn't want to see that. And it was kind of cool that he killed them all. I was like, oh, okay, that was cool. That was actually, to me, it was kind of a twist. Like, you thought Cap and Bucky were going to have to go in there and fight all these other, like, soldiers. And it went down that way. I was like, oh, suck. That's cool. Yeah. And I liked the end fight with Iron Man because at first, because in the trailers, you see that scene where he's fighting both Cap and Bucky, and they're throwing a shield and stuff. Right. You're like, how's that going to go down? And it happened so fast, but you kind of understand, like, it was almost like you understand that, Iron Man's he just kind of lost his cool. Right. But you feel that because he feels like Cap lied to him. Like, did Cap lie to him? I don't think Cap lied to him. I think Cap was trying to he didn't need to know that, man. That's a lot of information to kind of hold on to you. Right. And there's already like stress there with like signing the Accords, being friends, like who's this Winter Soldier dude? And so it was almost like, you got to like smack somebody in the face to kind of get them to stop losing their mind. And so at the end, I kind of liked the letter that Cap wrote to him. He's like, hey man, we're going to lay low. I'm your friend. Call me on this weird burner phone if you need me again. But, and it felt like the way Iron Man responded to it, like as he's reading the letter, that it was like, all right, that's cool. But I don't know. Did you get that? I felt like they were cool at the end, even though they never like shook hands. Like by him reading that letter and his response to General or Secretary Ross or whatever. Yeah, it felt like they were cool. Yeah, it felt like it wasn't like completely resolved, but he's like willing to like. Mm-hmm.
he's out of the situation a little bit, removed, so
Yeah.
he can be like, okay, I can look at this with a level head now, not
Yeah.
just let my anger fuel everything.
Yeah. And then I also want to talk about Black Panther, who I thought was freaking rad.
Oh yeah,
Like he was cool, man. That dude, that Chadwick Boseman, the dude who played him, like I thought he was perfect because like Black Panther can either like you can think, oh, he kind of sucks, he's cheesy, or he's rad. I thought he was rad. I was like, oh, man, this is cool to see. Like
straight up like ninja skills.
yeah, like yeah. Well, here's the thing. He's like king, superhero, like just protector guy. Like I thought he was cool, and so now I'm really excited to see his movie, like how that's gonna go, because there's a whole bunch of cool stuff that happens in Wakanda, where he comes from. Remember they're in Wakanda in Age of Ultron. Remember,
right.
And they cut that dude's arm off. Like,
It's like Wikanada.
yeah, what? Wikipedia, Wakanda. Yes, Wakanda. Yeah. So that movie's gonna be. Sorry, I'm backing off the mic. That movie's gonna be really good. Okay, so Civil War overall.
Gotta go.
My wife did not like the ending. She didn't even like the movie that much.
What?
Yeah, so we walked out, and my kids liked it. It was a little intense for my kids, I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
And I saw it before, but I kind of forgot some things. I was like, oh crud. So I kept going to her, cover his eyes, cover his eyes. But overall they're just like, Spider-Man was so cool. But my wife, she said she liked Batman versus Superman better.
Huh.
She said she liked the ending better to Batman versus Superman. And then I kind of thought about it, and I was like, the ending to Civil War was a little, it just ends,
Right.
Like it was just like, here's the letter. All right, we're done. And then they kind of tack on that other ending where he's in Wakanda with Black Panther, like, well, we'll just hide out here for a little bit. Like, I feel like that should just been the ending with it. And then they could have done another after credit scene if they wanted to show, somebody hanging out with somebody or whatever. But she just liked the ending of Batman versus Superman. Like, even though
just because there was a resolve.
There was a resolve. I mean, whether you like Batman versus Superman, I think the ending was better. Like, so Superman dies. Spoiler: Superman dies. Batman's encouraged and inspired to like, okay, I'm going to form a team and honor you in that ending.
Right.
And then with the little tease at the end, like, oh, is he dead? So it felt like a truer ending than the Civil War. So there we go. So
what? I'm going to ask a completely ignorant question because I
Please.
don't know much about it.
Mhm.
So the next Avengers, there's going to be 2 Avengers that are Infinity War, correct?
yeah, part 3 and 4.
So is this going to be like is this going to be a continuation of the same quote unquote teams from Captain America, or are all these guys going to get together and take on somebody else?
Yeah, this is where Thanos finally shows up. So, so Infinity War is the Infinity Gems. So the last, every time there's like a gem in the movie.
Yeah.
So he's collecting them. Remember at the end of Ultron, he has him show up and he's like, I'll do it myself. Right. So he's going to finally start collecting these gems.
And then I bet we're going to see where Thor, wherever he ran off to, because he wasn't in.
Yeah. He took off and went back to Asgard.
Right.
Probably to prep for some of this, So the next Thor movie is going to have Hulk in it.
Oh, wow.
So Hulk and Thor are going to be in Ragnarok. It's called Thor Ragnarok.
Oh.
So yeah, which they just actually released some casting today.
And is that going to be before Infinity War?
Yes. Yeah.
Wow,
So-
man, they haven't even shot it yet?
It's going to start filming soon. So Jeff Goldblum just signed on to be in it. And oh gosh, what's the guy who played Judge Dredd? I can't think of his name.
Sylvester Stallone?
No, not that Judge Dredd. The good Judge Dredd. Yeah, so they just did some casting for that. So yeah, man.
Okay. I wasn't sure, and I didn't know how that panned out because we have Civil War and Infinity War. I was like, okay, is it just keep going or what?
Yeah, it's they're all called War, but Civil War is different than what Infinity War is.
Well, yeah, obviously.
But
Civil
yeah,
War
the
was
next
more
one coming
internal.
out is Doctor Strange.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Yeah, the previews for that look awesome balls.
Yes.
I don't even know one thing about Doctor Strange.
I'm very, very my Doctor Strange knowledge is very limited.
Other than Doctor Strange Records, of course.
Oh. Hey,
Which was a
plug Doctor
punk rock label from excuse me. Punk rock label from the mid 90s.
by the Voodoo Glow Skulls.
Voodoo Glow Skulls were originally on that. And the logo was kind of like a guy with the mask and had his hands up like Doctor Strange does sometimes. or at least in this preview, I see him do that with his
That
hands.
little
You're
thing.
like, whoa.
It's like the heavy metal sign almost.
But yeah, looks super BA. I'm kind of excited for that. It's like
It looks really good.
it's almost like a Marvel movie and freaking Inception all in one.
Oh yeah, it had those like Christopher Nolan like building spins.
Yeah, the dude looks bonkers.
So I'm trying to pull up the timeline of the movies that are coming out because I'm getting a little bit confused. So yeah, so next movie is Doctor Strange,
Yeah.
and then it's
Deep.
going to be Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2,
Yeah.
which is I'm excited about that.
Heck yeah.
And then if I hit, it keeps going away. Okay, yeah, Doctor Strange, Guardians of the Galaxy 2, and then Spider-Man Homecoming,
Okay.
Thor,
So
yeah.
So Spider-Man's next year, or is this all next year?
This is all, okay, so 2017.
Yeah.
So we'll go 2016, Doctor Strange.
right.
And in 2017 is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, Spider-Man Homecoming, Thor Ragnarok, and then 2018, Black Panther, Avengers Infinity War Part 1, then Ant-Man and the Wasp, then Captain Marvel, which is this chick,
Okay.
superhero lady, and then Avengers Infinity War Part 2,
in 2019, or is this
2019, yeah.
Okay.
And
'cause you skip
then
over years, so I was
Something
like,
called
man,
Inhumans,
Huh. Interesting.
which I've heard got pushed maybe.
Okay. Well,
So yeah.
we've got a full.
Yeah,
full
there's a whole
docket
bunch
here.
of stuff coming. There's a whole bunch.
Not to mention whatever DC decides
Yeah.
to do with continuing on.
Yeah, DC's got Suicide Squad coming up,
Yeah.
and then Wonder Woman, and then after that, I believe is Justice League, and then
There's rumors of a Batfleck.
yeah, the
solo.
Batfleck one. It's been pretty much. It hasn't been confirmed, but it's pretty much has been confirmed.
Right.
So that, and then they just announced this
Unofficially
week
official.
actually that there's going to be a Harley Quinn movie. Not like a hey, it's just a Harley Quinn. It's Harley Quinn kind of teamed up with some girls. So like Poison Ivy.
Okay.
There's a comic called
Yeah.
Gotham City Sirens and Birds of Prey and stuff. So it's probably gonna be like all the females, like Batgirl, Black Canary versus Poison Ivy, whatever. Anyways, that kind of got hinted at. And then another movie called Booster Gold, which no one really knows about Booster Gold. He's a guy from the future who comes back to our time to be a superhero with all the information that he knows. And he's kind of like it would be more of a lighthearted, like a funny film.
Okay.
And then, then they have what Aquaman's coming out and Flash, and that's kind of so far where we're at.
Well,
Anyways,
we're gonna be busy.
a lot of nerd talk right there. Sorry, guys.
Nerds,
All types of nerds. So,
One thing I do want to cap off with
yeah.
the previews on Civil War. We saw Rogue One preview.
Oh my gosh, yeah. We didn't talk about that, did we?
No,
Let's talk about that.
briefly, but
Yeah.
I don't really have much to say other than looks phenomenal.
Oh yeah.
I'm so excited. I love everything they've done. That I just saw, a minute or two of it, but like everything is true to the originals. I feel like the Stormtrooper uniforms are back to almost the original style as opposed to. I feel like they changed a bit. They were modified a bit for Episode 7.
Oh yeah, yeah, they were.
But because we're kind of going back in time, Rogue One, they're like back to that old traditional style. You see the AT-ATs and like that siren. Everything just
Okay,
looks
Kelly,
so
are you
awesome.
an AT-AT or are you an AT-AT?
AT-AT for sure.
Yeah.
That's the way I learned it. That's the way I knew.
But then you call the little ones ATSTs though. You don't call them ATSTs.
Well, you can't say AT-AT. You could say AT-ST.
Yeah, I'm confused.
I don't know.
Sorry.
I'm saying AT-AT because
I say AT-AT
that's
too.
how I learned. That's
I
how
s-
I learned it as a kid.
They never say them in the movie. They never go, it's an AT-AT.
Yeah.
AT.
Attack the AT-AT.
Hopefully in this one they clarify that for us,
Right.
so we'll have the answer.
We need some clarification here.
Yeah, clarify that.
Can somebody get to us?
Mark Hamill, make it happen.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, that movie. Here's what I like about it. It's going back. It's going to be a prequel that's actually good.
Right.
And then it just the way it looks shot. It looked like it looks old, but it doesn't look like a Star Wars movie.
Right.
And not in a bad way. It looks really good. So, are you sure we didn't talk about this before?
I don't recall.
I feel like maybe we've had the
Maybe we touched
conversation.
on it. We might have touched on it.
Who cares?
But all I'm
Star
saying,
Wars is good.
Seeing it on the big screen,
Yeah.
made it so much better.
Mm.
Not to say that it wasn't good the first time I saw it. It was probably on a computer, like a laptop, little 15-inch screen.
Yeah.
See it on the huge screen and hear the sound and everything. It just looked like pure magic. And I'm so excited for that.
When it showed that scene of them approaching like the Star Destroyer.
Yeah.
It was all like white and pristine, like new. It just looked so cool, dude.
So cool.
Yeah, that whole, even the music.
Even they took the kind of the lady that was in charge of
Mom Mothra.
I don't know.
Yeah,
the lady that they computer enhanced her, put her back, like made her look a little younger.
Mm-hmm. Is that the same lady? Is that what they said?
Well, yeah. I don't know if it's. I think they might have done that all digitally.
Oh wow! Someone let us know.
Yeah,
I think it's an actor. I mean, I don't think it's a digital actress.
Well, either way, whatever they did with it digitally with the maybe it was like they took her face from the original and then
placed it on.
Used the crazy like little dots they put on your face.
Right now, Kelly is putting dots on his face.
Yeah, I'm touching my face. Like they did for Snoke and for Roz.
Yeah.
Like those kind of things. Maybe it's motion capture, and they put like a younger version of her face.
Speaking of crazy, remember how Robert Downey Jr. looked in Civil War?
Yeah,
that was crazy.
That was like, the little flashback thing. That was nuts.
I think that looked better than what they did in Ant-Man.
Yeah,
like they were like, we got to put some Downey money on this one.
Blew my money.
Yeah, I was like,
I meant blew my mind. Yeah. You said money.
Blew my money.
Blew my money. All of it.
I blew all of it because I watched Civil War twice. Yeah, that was really, really good. Okay, Star Wars Rogue One is going to be
magic.
I'm
calling it right now.
Oh yeah, dude. That movie is going to make $1 billion. I hope it makes $1 billion. It should. Like, it was just so good. Something needs to beat Avatar.
Avatar?
Yeah. Avatar's still the #1 movie.
That still blows my mind.
Who likes Avatar? If you like Avatar.
I've never seen Avatar.
Oh gosh, it sucks. It's so bad, dude. I only went because my in-laws paid for it like when it came out like years ago.
I really did not have a desire to see it.
Me neither.
Nor do I now at this point.
Oh dude, it was so terrible. I'm like, this is terrible. It's terrible. Like there's cool effects, but a movie can't just have cool effects.
It's those foreign markets, man.
Probably
they found a way to just nail it down, and that's how they're still holding the title.
Here it is. It's basically like everyone has said this. It's Fern Gully meets Pocahontas meets weird blue animal guys that plug their tails into like flying insects, and it's weird. It just sucks.
That doesn't sound appealing at all.
It's a bag of crap. Anyways, okay. You ready to wrap up, Kelly?
Let's wrap it.
First off, we really need to start our Let's Go Street Team.
Yeah.
And so we need people to join the Street Team to help promote the show, do some social networking, and just get the word out about what's going on with Let's Go. So if you are interested in doing that, please email us at letsgocast@gmail.com. Please do that. And while you're at it, hit us up on social networking at
Let's Go Cast everywhere.
Let's Go Cast everywhere. Twitter, Instagram, there you go. Visit the website, www.letsgocast.com, or hit us up on Facebook.
Yeah.
.com/Let's Go Cast.
Give us some music. Give us some beers.
Yeah, because, again, thank you to Brian suggesting some beers.
We need you guys to engage.
Engage, man. Turn the key. Let's go.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, I'm Justin.
I'm Kelly.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Next door here, everything is in that demanded. What's all right, the bit that got headed. Let the die the shores of East River. Where the shores